How's it going, guys? Another Friday night, not Friday night show. Sorry, I'm trying to get back into my rhythm. We are doing the Monday night show, Fanzone live. Make sure you get all your comments in, get your views in, get everything you want to talk about. Obviously, we've done our first pre-season match on Saturday. I think I can't remember now. Saturday, yeah, against Notts County. Let me know your thoughts. Yes, we lost two set pieces again. Another thing we can talk about, but let's get it straight after the intro. If I can find it. Let's go.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So, guys, how are you all doing? Get all your views and comments in. We want to know what your my iPad is just absolutely crashed because of the heat, probably. Another thing that's absolutely going wrong today. While that reloads, get all your comments in. We will bring them up on screen for your eyes to see. So, obviously, first game of pre-season was Notts County. Was it the best results? Again, training ground game. Can't really say much about it. Yes, we lost. A lot of academy players got a chance, which was a decent run out for a lot of the players. Again, people say there was only 4 or 5 players in that starting 22 players that start that played in the game that would have played in the first 11. I don't think so. I've said that in yesterday's show that there was quite a few more for me that could be in that first squad if they do well this season going forward. But again, it's just depending on what really happens. Let me get my iPad going. Let me get a few comments in as we do it. Let me quickly get my iPad. Sorry. Bang, bang. Get rid of that. Get you out the way. Right. So, what's up? Leicester City, I say. I know, another one where there's just no signings coming at the moment. Evening, Mark. Evening, Sadie. I want Charles de Ketelaere. I don't think that's even happening, to be honest. That's more of an AC Milan route now for him. And to be honest, I don't really want him. I don't want him. For 40 million, we've already got 3 attacking threats in the central position. I don't think we need another one. Evening Reedy, Evening Grey. But rumours about Kochu. I know who that is. Yeah, the Turkish international in midfield. I'd take him. It would only probably cost about 20 million max, but again, it just depends on how he does well. How he does if he does come to Leicester. Nottingham Forest fan, of course, he comes in for another show really. But at least you're in the Premier League now. That's a good thing to hear. Well, maybe for you, not for us. Evening, we'll see. We'll set pieces behind Achilles' heel again this year, playing against the National League side and not playing against. Again, you could say it's a national league side, but it was a pre-season match. But everyone says that. Like, I turned off. This is going to sound horrible. I turned off the show. I turned off the live when halftime came up because I knew I didn't want to watch the academy, just because I knew the end result was probably going to be a loss. Again, hopefully some of the academy stars come in and change how we play next season, but I just can't see it with the amount of players we've got in that Premier League 25. They won't fit in. Yes, they can come in anyway, but again, I don't think they'll compete with the level we need to be at now. We'll get a few more comments before we bring in the guest anyway. Think what was frustrating the fans most was complete silence from the club. Yes, we've got nothing from the club to say anyone who's going, who's coming in. Cocu looks a good signing for would be a good for you. Yes, I think you would. My iPad's absolutely hitting the fan again. Sean, hopefully you coming in. I'm trying to get my iPad working, but again, it's the heat. We will bring the guest in for today. Then here he is, Jono.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm not bad yourself.
I'm good. So firstly, welcome back. Obviously, you've been away for a few weeks, I'm guessing, in Italy.
Yep.
How's it feel to be back into this heat wave? Let's just say.
Feels cold to be honest. I'm used to 36 degrees plus, so I'm happy.
So I'm guessing, did you watch the preseason match or not? Against Notts County.
I managed to watch some of it. Obviously, I was at the airport when it was on, so I managed to watch a bit of it. I watched their second goal from a set piece, but I think people just need to chill
Yeah,
out.
I thought that. Like yes, it's a preseason match. Yes, it's only a national. What nation? What is the
National League.
National League? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, National League. Yes, it's below League Two, but again, they're probably playing their best players. We're playing academy players that are kind of probably maybe on the same level, kind of side of them. But again, it's a preseason. You just want to get fitness up. The heat probably didn't help at all. It's in the middle of the fields, training ground. You'll probably be absolutely roasting around there. So getting Barnes getting the first goal as well. That's a good sign for us after Barnes. I did have the best season last season, for me anyway. What's your
Um,
thoughts on just the game in general, really?
it was good to get fitness. I thought Daka played quite well. His assist was really good. Um, Master One Highs looks really good. I think he might be an
Mm.
upcoming academy player who I think could feature maybe not as much this season, but next season, after maybe preseason next season, he'll be a much more of a impact player. Maybe coming to the first team, but Daka was really good. Impressed me. Um, our keeper in the second half, that he made a few really good saves.
The Polish man, yeah.
Yeah, he made quite a few good saves, but no, it's good to see get some fitness in. But I also saw Tielemans is back and Dennis Pratt.
Yeah, both Belgium internationals coming into the training ground again. It just, I don't know, it seems a bit odd because, like say, Pratt was looking for a move out. Well, I don't know if he was looking for a move, but I think the club was wanting to getting rid of him, even though there's a lot of fans saying that they want to keep him. I'd keep him, but again, it's about squad depth, and I just don't know if he'd fit in with the players we're going to be bringing in, like that Kochu guy and other players like that. Councillor Evening says, "Serious lads, the defense was abysmal. Like, can you really say it when you've got yes, Fafana's in that back line, but the rest of it, what? Okay, Ricardo was there as well, but it's a different kind of system when we're playing with a lot of the youth players and all that. You
Well,
can't really put. It's not a Premier League match, is it? It's not to that high level. You can't really expect it. The only thing usually it's another set piece, which most people will probably complain about.
yeah, look, we conceded from a set piece, but I think it might be a bit late, but I still think we're going to have a rebuild. I still think we're going to bring in a few players. Like we haven't got Europe, so that's around 10 games or 11 games less automatically less than this last season.
Hmm.
So we got Dennis Pratt back. We'll have Ndidi back from injury. Bertrand will be back. Vestergaard will be well. Hopefully he'll be gone. Um, but I think we need a few, and we definitely need a massive player in defence other than Vestergaard to help with set pieces. Maybe a more a person with more authority who can challenge in the box.
Well, that's the one thing I said that, to be honest, yes, there's a lot of people that hate that have been slating Vestergaard for things he's not done when he's coming to the side to try and defend a 1-0 lead or whatever it was last season. But that's maybe one thing why I'd say keep him because he's probably the biggest player we've got in the defensive area that really could help us in that sort of area. If he starts on the pitch, to maybe takes the Evans spot up and plays with Fafana. Yes, he's a bit slower, but the players around him can cover him a lot more. But
There's only one game where Vestergaard had played all right. It was only on. It was against Rennes when he came for like 10 minutes. I think
is that the game where he had like a handball and all that?
that was the game where he might have had a handball, but he
Mm.
made a really good header and stuff like that. But I think he's not a player that could progress us. But I I'd love to see Dennis Pratt being involved more because I think he's really good. Tielemans, I think he's still going to go. I think Manchester United looking more the likely team to get his signature now. I don't know. I think people need to chill, and I still think we're going to sign a few players for next season.
Yeah. Chris Townsend says I'd play Pratt. He deserves a chance. Yeah, I'd play him in pre-season if he's back in training. Obviously, as you've seen, I'd give him a chance in there, see what people think. I think he played against a pre-season match last season. I think it was against. I want to say it's against Brentford. It was like the season before. I'm not too sure where he made that incredible pass. I don't know if that was in pre-season or not. I can't remember. But it was a good game for him. People are saying that we need to sign someone now. I don't. I'm not kind of having. I'm not putting pressure on anyone now because we've still got what 4 weeks left in this window. Yes, the season starts soon. It just for me,
We can't.
there's longer still to go in the window than there is already gone. So for me, we've still got easy long enough to get rid of people and get people in for me. And again, it just depends who we're bringing because I don't want to be playing, don't want to be buying people at like 20 million who just will probably be a fringe player on to the side. We need to buy that next level player that will get into that 11 for me.
Yeah, we can't just buy like Daka, Sumare for me were players which Brendan wanted to develop. Like he knew they weren't first team players, but we need to sign players like other teams. Every team around us assign player that's automatically first team 11 player. We don't have that. We haven't brought that in. Yes, we've got players back from injury who will start. Like indeed, he's back from injury. Hopefully, Vardy will be fully fit. We have those sort of players back, but I haven't signed anyone who's different enough to make a difference from last season.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, do you think that players like Kochu or Madueke are the ones that we're kind of the most linked to at the moment would be the next level players for us going into the side next season? Or like I say, Lookman, why didn't we go for Lookman? Again, each show we're talking about the same sort of players, but again, there's nothing coming out from the club. So we've got to just freshen up what we know that we know from social media and stuff. Why didn't we go for Lookman?
I think maybe Brendan was thinking like he's not the impact that he thought he might be. Maybe he was just there maybe his decision wrong was him to be a lone player, no matter how well he played. I thought it was a good play for us. But if we don't sign him this summer, I think we need a right winger. We can't survive. Or Brighton's quality, but he hasn't got the pace or the ability to keep up every game all season. So I think we need a solid right winger, maybe another and a centre back.
Yeah,
Maybe even a right back because Ricardo's injury prone. He's a quality right back, but he's injury prone.
yeah, he is again. I say I didn't see too much of him from that preseason match against Notts County, but again, he got given the captaincy spot. Yes, there wasn't other players that can be given it, but kind of shows an incentive to be like it's kind of his big season this season because I spoke to other fans of other clubs and he was saying that to be honest, for me, I think he's probably our best defender, other than maybe Fofana now, because he's only recently come in. But before that, I thought Ricardo, when he was fit, was probably top three right backs in the league because of how good he can perform. So
Yeah.
maybe this season is the season for him to kind of not show it so he can make a move, but show it so he can show that he is probably still one of the best fullbacks in the league.
He needs a good run out. I think we need a good start to the season. We've got a very difficult start. We've got Brentford at home with first game, but last season Brentford showed up Arsenal. They made Arsenal look like a championship team. So we can't take anything for granted. Then we've got a really difficult few games. What's our second game? Is it against Chelsea or something?
What in
Can't
the
really
season?
in the season, yeah. So let's have a look.
So the first away game is our Arsenal, and the second one is Chelsea, I think, from what I can remember. So we've got
So
Brentford, we've got Arsenal, then we've got.
Southampton, then Chelsea, then Man U. So we're playing three of the top six of the first 5 games.
So again, for me, it's not that bad, and everyone's been saying
It
that.
is that bad, but
I don't
don't
think
forget.
it is. We've got
Don't,
two. Both. We've got two away and one at home. I think United
doesn't
are at
matter.
home.
It doesn't matter about the home and away. Arsenal they've been awful transfer windows. They've signed Jesus, who's already been proven. Has already showed his massive signing. He's already showing his intent in the preseason friendlies. I know it's only preseason, but he's already showing his ability. You know, they're looking they're signing some players, and we haven't signed anyone. Like every team we're playing, like Arsenal made a signing, Brentford have made a signing, Chelsea have made signings, Southampton have made signings, Man U have made signings.
Forest
Well,
made sign. Forest made
yeah,
signings. They've had
Forest have
about
made
7, right?
Forest have bought someone from Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
We haven't signed anybody. We've had very close rumours, but that's it.
And that again for me comes back to the point of there's people in the comments. I think someone said about Brendan Rodgers saying it was a rebuild, but now it's kind of a more of a mentality rebuild. I think that was Mahad saying that. But for me, realistically, there's obviously a reason why we're not bringing people in. Is it because we need to get players out first, and not many people want to come in for them? But for me, I said to Jamie yesterday, I think it was Jamie. I don't know who I said it to, that I don't care if we brought one player in on the last day of the window, as long as it was that one player that can score 15 to 20 goals a season. Like, again, it's not going to be him, but someone like Rafinha, that sort of level, we're not going to get that high level, but someone that is an impact player next season that really will get us that next level, getting more goals, getting more assists, just changing the game. Again, we've never really played Mahrez. Why don't we bring the next level player like a Madueke for me? Which if that was what our only signing this season, I don't mind, because that again, for me, is improved.
Yeah, I think is that, for example, if we do buy one player and they do make a difference, what happens if they get injured? Then we've lost that initial when Man United bought Bruno Fernandes, they were a different team. We need that. We need that sort of player.
Mm-hmm.
But we've not made that intense, to sign someone, and I'm worried. I'm not worried because we've got all these players back, but we're showing less. But we can't have this mentality of all our players are back, we'll be fine. But we need to make signings. We need to freshen up the squad. The whole reason why we're so poor is because it just looked so flat. Everything was just the same. We need something to spice up the team.
I think for me as well, looking about, like I say, maybe freshen up the team. For me, someone like Dak and Sumare, yes, they came in last season, but I can see them feeling like a new signing this season, because I feel like they're willing to be improved this season. For me, again, Phil thinks Dak is just not up to it at Leicester, but I honestly think there's something there with him, and maybe this season coming, I think he's gonna get at least just 10 to 15 goals minimum for me, even coming into the cups and whatnot. But as you were saying about signings and how we've lacked in them, Grace here says about we've missed out on Popen for £10 million that Newcastle got it for. I'd paid double, even maybe it's probably triple for that.
Yeah, I think I I think the reason why we haven't made any signings because I think we're really hoping to get rid of Tielemans
Hmm.
really quickly. But the problem is that we've gone down the route of making it difficult to sell. Like when we sold Maguire, when we sold Mahrez, like at the time, like we could have we had the ability to do that because we want to hire for the win the Premier League, and with Maguire we had Suinchu in the background who was really good for the first few seasons after Maguire left. But this time we can't afford that. We can't afford to be like, oh, Tielemans is our player, because he's not even going to go for that 25 million is nothing. Like
Hmm.
if that's the money we have, because it's just money is obviously an issue because we would have bought players by now. Money is obviously an issue because we want more money for Tielemans. But I
I
think,
don't think is I don't know if it is the money side of it for me. Like I think again, I think we said that there's about 29 players in that squad that would be going into that 25-man squad for the Premier League, which again you've got to shorten that if you want to bring players in, because it's pointless bringing players in if it's going to go over 30 in the squad to bring in only 25. So you've got to start getting rid of players, and again that's the issue where you can't get rid of them because they are on such high wage per
well,
week
if
that
I swear, I don't know if it was true or not, but Sturridge was told he can go. Who else said they could go? Um,
Perez, I
I think,
think maybe he was one that
yeah, maybe Perez.
people.
Like, if we're telling players that they could go, but that's not happened. Like, this should have been done the day after the transfer window. We should have said, look, like you're gonna go. Tielemans, we're selling you. Like, we're sorry, but you're going to Arsenal or Man U for this fee. But I think it's been unorganised. Like we've said all this thing, we've said all these things, we've said to players they can go, but we're still at a standstill. Like pre-season has started and nothing's happened. All there's been is rumours.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and again, you'd prefer to get players in before the season starts instead of getting them and then within the first few games of the
Right.
season where they can bed in and whatnot. But again, there's people saying about Levi Colwill from Huddersfield. I think he's a Chelsea guy. Well, Chelsea loaned him to Huddersfield. I'll take him as well, with defender. But again, there's so many players who've been linked with. It's just there's nothing been that official. Like I always look at Fabrizio Romano and what he says about all these signings, and not once really, other than that Charles de Ketelaere that we've kind of were apparently in for. Other than that, we've not heard anything concrete that someone's coming in, which is so annoying to hear. But I think the moment one comes in or one goes, I think you will, for me, you'll get a flurry of them coming in for Leicester. Because again, we're not going to just be so quiet with everything until one goes. I think once that one thing goes, like you said about the shirt, I think the moment something gets announced, that day when the shirt got announced, literally loads of things came out that day. I think there was all the preseason matches came out that day and all that on that all one day, which for me maybe could happen with the signing point of view.
Well, the council made a good point because Southampton, we signed Southampton's scout.
Yeah.
So maybe this season is another season where we just try and, I don't know, get top 10 or something again. Maybe next season is where we sign players. But
Yeah.
I think Leicester fans would be pretty disappointed if we don't at least, compete for Europe, because that's where we should be. I think we should be competing for Europe every season now. Like, I don't think we should be going for Champions League or Premier League every season because we're nowhere near that level. But at least trying us for Europe, a European competition. I think that's what I'd like to do. But if we've done nothing for me to say this season going to be better because nothing's happened. If we signed 4 players and got rid of 5, we're like, yes, the club is in a direction, but nothing's happened.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like I say, apparently the Southampton guy that's meant to be coming in can't come in until July. Oh, sorry, the end of July, I think. So realistically, it's kind of a pointless him being head of recruitment team. He's just not going to be able to get anyone in until pretty much the window's over anyway. But again, I know what you mean. It's maybe just try and see what you can do this season, go in, and then next season is the year for us to really bolster the team. But do you honestly think that we will get at least someone in? I don't know who it will be, but do you
We'll
really
get
think
someone in.
we will get
We'll
one or two in? But
we'll definitely make a signing, but will it be a signing like Daka or Samare where it's a progression player, or is it a player we buy to send on loan, or is it a player that's like Vestergaard or Bertrand that's a flop, or are we gonna go our arse again, sign a player like a right winger who's gonna start in the first team immediately and play? Because if it's just the same team as last year, the thing is that if we keep the same team as last year, every team's gonna know how to play against us on that score set pieces. Nothing's going to change, so we'll just be in the same predicament. Yes, we'll have form. Yes, we might win 4 or 5 games in a row and get up the table, but I don't want to have the thing of, oh, here we go again, or predict what's going to happen. I don't know how to go into a game and go, they got a set piece, it's most likely going to be a goal, which is most likely going to happen.
yeah, and I've never spoke to you before, really. Well, since the season ended, I was saying that if we didn't concede all them set pieces in that season just gone, I think we probably could have easily got Europe. Well, we were just off it anyway, but without them 20 goals wiped off from set pieces, realistically, we could have easily have got Europe, even maybe even top
We could have gotten
4.
Europe. Yeah, like if set piece was an issue, injuries didn't help at all. We missed massive players at every stage of the season. Ndidi was missing for a while. Vardy's missing for a while. Fofana was missing until February. So there were a lot of players missing, and the reason why I played well the season before that to get into Europa League was because all those players were playing at the same time the whole season. Last season, we mix and match of excellent players and average players, which didn't help.
Yeah, people were saying that. Oh, Council even said there that apparently the head of recruitment doesn't even come in until the 1st of September, which is after the window's closed, which is just a bit
Maybe it's January.
pointless.
Maybe he might bring a place for January, which is pointless as well. We need to make a solid start, like have a bit of form at the beginning of the season, and then carry on. Because if we make no changes, we're going to get battered. Like if we lose against Brentford, we won't beat Arsenal. We might beat Southampton. We will lose to Chelsea. That's 3 points out of 12, and we bottom of the table pretty much.
See, for me, I'm on the other side of that. I'm like, we've got the squad. I feel like we've got the squad to beat a lot of the teams next season. Again, injuries did hinder us a lot the last few seasons, and people say you can't always use that as an excuse. But again, when we played them 2 top 5 finishes in them 2 seasons, we played good football. We just, in the end, we did kind of we just lost the momentum because we lost so many players in certain games that really cost us it. And we lost it in both the last games of the seasons, which for me isn't too bad to say that we did brilliant most of the season otherwise.
Well, I've looking at last season, looking at back what's happened, where we finished. We got to a semi-final. It wasn't a bad season overall, but my frustration is going to be better. And that's not me thinking, oh, like I wish every season's better. But I'm thinking it's going to be better because we could have prevented a lot of things that happen. We could have stopped the injuries, we could have stopped them, but the set pieces, the silly decisions like Tielemans giving the ball away against Spurs, that was, a lot of silly mistakes that just we gifted to teams, or
we've got to be more not professional, but we've just got to be a higher standard. You know what I mean? Like the little moments like that, where if you're a Tielemans didn't give that away, we could have drew that game easily. Yes.
Oh no, we should have won.
We were winning. No, but we were winning the game at that point. But the time that Euro Tielemans made that pass, we were 2-2 at that point. And again, we shouldn't have even lost that game. We shouldn't even drew. We should
have been out of sight. We should have kept the ball, played safe. We're 3-1 up in the 89th minute, but no, we flopped it and lost 4-3.
But like I say, there's so many games last season where realistically, if we were more, oh, I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say it's not solid, but it's not. It's just a higher standard. You just got to be playing a lot more, a higher level to show you've got the quality for it. Again, just little moments really that cost us so many points and goals. Again, set pieces where if you get one header out of the box at that 1 point, again, that's a goal. That's a goal less conceded. So, just depends how we perform.
Even when we do stop a corner, like the initial kick, when it lands in the box, we just look like bull in a china shop. We can't clear our lines. We are scrambling to get the ball away. All the team has to do is just whack it hard as they can.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we lacked the backbone. We just lacked it at times where we needed to be a lot more better. Like I say, the Forest game, yes, we lost 4-1, and you even called it. I think you're saying that we did lose to them, but just certain moments like that. Marty, what is he doing passing it back at that time? What is certain players doing in that game that really just absolutely let us down in the games? It just if we can sort that out, we can sort the set pieces out. I feel like we can be an absolute outstanding team next season. A bad start and Rodgers will be gone by October. There's only as long as he keeps false promises. I don't. People are saying give him 10 games. What do you reckon? Do you reckon he will be gone before December?
I don't care if we. I mean, if we start against Brentford and we lose because of a silly decision, but we played really well and showed promise, I'd be happy. But even against Wolves last season when we played and we won 1-0, I was worried because we only won because we scored a lucky goal towards the end of the game.
It was a very fluky goal, wasn't it?
Traore,
if he could choose,
he could have scored
3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So even if we won the first game last season, we were very poor. So we need, like the councillor said, where was his comment? Where was his comment? No, not that one. He made a really good comment. Yeah, that one. Like that, I think that's why Tielemans is so, lackluster because he has all that. Yeah, he's comfortable. Like he hasn't. Maddison has worked so hard to get back where, because like last season, this was season before last season, he was very unhappy with the way he played football. Him and Brendan sat down and they said, right, let's go back to this. And towards the end of last season, he was one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. He was unbelievable. He racked up so many goals and assists, and that's because he worked hard because he needed to earn that spot. Tielemans hasn't got that competition because in Brendan's eyes, he's one of the best midfielders in the world, so nothing can drop him. So we need that sort of player to come in to challenge that midfield spot or
Again,
make the team improve.
that's what Juice Bill did last season. He came in and for me, when I first saw him come in the first few games, I'm going to be totally honest, I didn't really rate how he was playing because he just kept, maybe this touch was a bit off, he was losing the ball a bit, but as he got into that team, we played him more and more. He was just 10 times better than what Eurytinians was. It's because he's so comfortable in that position that no one's going to challenge him in that role, and that's where midfielders that we need to bring like Kachu guy or who Ericsson maybe could have come in before he went to United that really probably could have pushed him out of his position.
Well, I think Juice Bill was the best player for me last season.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. It was Amati, but since he came in, I think he was absolutely outstanding.
Like for me, Amati, Madison, and Dewsbury Hall. But the reason why I went with Dewsbury Hall because without Dewsbury Hall, we were so boring. Like when he came in, we just looked like a fresh team. That's what it was like a new signing because he just came onto the scene and he played amazing.
Yeah.
We need a signing like that.
Someone says 4-4-2 can work for Leicester. I don't think it will. But the only reason that is I think Brendan Rodgers loves the width, and I just don't think he loses the midfield because he prefers to have at least 3 in the midfield, and with 2 wing, it's like it's hard because you want to play 2 strikers and you want to play 2 wingers, but then you've only got 2 in the field, which I think for me, Brendan just hates. He has to have an over numbers amount of in the midfield to just make sure you can control it in the midfield, where you've got the likes of Man City who just absolutely boss midfield anyway. But I think that's where we're going to leave it. The last few comments before we do end the show here. 4-2-2-2. Maybe, but I think it's more just making sure we stop the corners, and I think we'll be a lot better. If Rodgers goes, who would you take? Last comment, there you go, John. John, before you do leave, who would you take if Rodgers does go?
There's no one there, is there? There's no one out there that will come to Leicester. Like Brendan came out of Celtic to come, but there's no manager out there that's better than Brendan in a bigger team that will come to Leicester.
Poch won't. Potter maybe so. I don't know. Depends.
Brighton are a team. They just finished below us last season. I can see them
again. I would take him, but I just don't think he would come. I don't think he would. Gattuso maybe sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. I don't know. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave it, guys. Make sure before we do go that there is a giveaway going on for the shirt that both of us are wearing. As you can see here, Leicester Fan TV are going to give a shirt away thanks to Pukka Pies. Obviously, go to subscribe on the YouTube channel. The only way you'll be able to enter is going over to the YouTube channel and subscribing. Anyone who's already entered will obviously be put into the list to go for the giveaway, and anyone that's not, please subscribe to the channel and obviously check out the Leicester Fan TV website again to make sure to get your entry through to that way as well. And then obviously make sure to check out the let me have a look here. Yeah, make sure you check out all the socials down below, like I say, TikTok, Facebook, and all that lot. And appreciate you coming on again, Jono, for the first time after a while. So hopefully you can come into more. And maybe obviously I think you're going live with Jamie next Sunday, aren't you?
Maybe, yes, depending on what I'm doing, but most likely yes.
Yeah, no worries. Right, we'll catch you next time, Jono, and thank you for coming on again.
In a bit.
See you in a bit. And that's it, guys. Appreciate you coming on again, and we'll catch you all on Sunday show next week with Jamie. So appreciate you coming on, and we'll catch you all next time. Peace. If I can get the video again.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.